2022. And I would like to recognize for the invocation to Nova Chaplain Stephen Pereira. Please, sir.
Thank you, Councilman. I understand there's a new order here. Usually I do this after the Pledge of Allegiance, but one of you fine councilmen wanted to put God first, so I take that privilege. Psalm 1 says, "The way of the righteous and the end of the ungodly. Blessed is the man who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bring forth his fruit in this season, whose leaf shall also not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper." Father, in the name of Jesus, we ask you to be here in your presence in this room tonight, that your righteousness will prevail, and that you will inspire each and every one of these council people, Lord, as you would desire for them to conduct business and conduct it properly. We pray for our county, we pray for our city, we pray for our state today. And Father, let me take one more moment and pray for the upcoming election, that it would be truthful, righteous, in your desire. And I pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all.
Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Commissioner Slater. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Goins,
Here.
Slater,
Here.
Mason,
Here.
Ledford,
Here.
Rogers,
Here.
Winters,
Here.
Beatty,
Here.
Hughes,
Here.
Alford,
Here.
Cry,
Here.
Blake,
Here.
Collins,
Here.
Gilbert,
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
14 present and none absent.
Thank you. I'd like to have a motion for approval of the minutes,
So
please.
move.
Second. Motion is by Goins, second by the Vice Chairman. Call the roll, please.
Goins,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Winters,
Yes.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Alford,
Yes.
Cry,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you. Report from the county mayor, please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, everyone. Don't have anything to report, but I would like to invite you all to participate in the celebrity bagging event coming up again this year. I look at Cindy Slater over there, Commissioner Slater. She helped us out a lot last year. But the annual United Way Celebrity Bagging is coming up November the 22nd at 1 o'clock. It's something I've done for many years, but last year we were able to put together a team and win the trophy from the city. So we need to get a team together, 4 or 5 members, however many. If you would let Lori or I know, that's November the 22nd from 1 to 2. I always say I try to stay experienced with bagging groceries in case I have to go back to doing that one day. It's a good thing to continue to be able to do. It goes for a good cause. The money, the tips that we raise goes to the United Way during that hour that we're there. And we don't want the city to win that trophy away from us. So if anyone's willing to do it, November the 22nd for one, put Cindy down, whoever, Lori, let Lori or I know. But we need more than just Cindy and I. So if some of you can, 1 o'clock on the 22nd, 1 hour.
And that's at Food City at Ocoee Crossing.
Food City, Ocoee Crossing, right. Same place as last year. Any questions about any of that? Please help us. We need 4 or 5 people at least. Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone have any questions for the mayor? Thank you. Consent agenda. I need like for a motion on the consent agenda, please. Commissioner Goins, do I have a second? Vice Chairman, second. Call the roll, please.
Goins,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Winters, Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Alford,
Yes.
Cry,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you. Before we go into the reports from the committees and our districts, I'd like to recognize our Director of Schools and the creator and of the one with the vision on the Pie Center, Dr. Linda Cash. Thank you. And we'll start with Commissioner Beatty on the right, please.
Everything's pretty well in First District.
Thank you. Commissioner Hughes.
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing to pass on today.
Commissioner Alford.
Yes, Second District's doing well. We did have a sheriff visitation the other day down at the Law Enforcement Committee meeting, and hopefully several of the new commissioners had a chance to go through the jail and see what real life is about at the jailhouse. Other than that, nothing else.
Thank you. Commissioner Collins.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had the opportunity to speak tonight to the Beta Club at Ocoee Middle School. They were doing inductions for new Beta Club members, and I'm sure that's going on at Lake Forest, Walker Valley High School, and Bradley Central as well. So, Dr. Cash, it's always awesome to be a part of that and see those smiling faces. Also want to recognize Mr. Taylor in the back, school board member. So that's been a neat thing to see and to experience the the celebration of success for those kids and families. So that was an incredible opportunity. Everything else doing great in the third. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Blake, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My report will be only about 50 minutes now, so. Good. I do have a few things. One, Mr. Chairman, last week you received a letter from the HCI Chair, Lisa Stansberry, requesting the commission provide the HCI committee any areas of emphasis for the upcoming grant cycle. I hope everybody received that email. You'll get back with Lori on any particulars to be appreciated. Next, Mr. Chairman, I did this a couple of years ago, but as we come into a new commission, I want to do it again. Important. Extended an invitation to any Bradley County resident who wishes to go over the budget. Simply call the office here, make an appointment with Lori. She knows my schedule, and I'll be happy to sit down with you and go over the budget in as much detail as you want to go over. I think in the past we've had 2 or 3 people come and do that, and I think it's a good thing. Next, Mr. Chairman, as you know, this week, Veterans Day is on Friday. I want to wish and extend happy veterans to all the vets. On that same note, I think we can be proud of Bradley County with respects to our Veterans Office. Commissioner Slater and I were up in Nashville back in February, and we went to the Veterans Committee. And not every county, Mary, you can allude to this as well, not every county has a Veterans Office. I think our office here, and I don't care whether you're a veteran in Polk County or any county, if you can come here and get your services, I have no problem with that. But there's lots of counties in the state of Tennessee that doesn't have a Veterans Office. So I'm very proud of the fact that our director, Brian Hessenberg, opens up and we get the monthly report on how many people come and the people they help get all that paperwork done. So anyway, I hope everybody has a good Veterans Day and day off. Last, Mr. Chairman, you may have heard, I had a bit of a little accident the other day, and I just want to extend my appreciation to the first responders, 911, fire, police officers, EMS. They did a fantastic job. And all the text messages and well wishes, my wife and I very much appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, if I could remind everyone to come to the Veterans Day program, the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour. They'd be on the courthouse plaza.
Thank you. Commissioner Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had a very good last week with the Pie Center's grand opening. It was a tremendous day for all of us in Bradley County. A lot of great work went into that, and $1 million was given that afternoon. It was a perfect afternoon. Well done for all of us that attended. It was just part of our leadership that we'll always remember. Thank you for doing that. That was a tremendous day. Lee's Homecoming just finished up, and they're a great partner with our community. We get these young people that come in, and then when we have homecoming, we get the not so young that used to be there the years gone by. So it was a great time. Also, this was a momentous week for the Robertson family, which I've married into. Dorothy Jennings Robertson died this past week. She's 103 years old. She's a lady that was born in Asheville and moved with her husband all over the world, was the first administrator, lady administrator in the Church of God in the general headquarters here. And on 3 weeks before she died, she went to church. She went to church every Sunday morning. Her son-in-law would come pick her up, and she'd go marching into church. When other people could not stand with the songs, she would stand with every song. She might not be able to hit the notes anymore, but she was there. 103 years old. Congratulations to her. Her funeral will be Thursday. We'll celebrate her home. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Gilbert.
Yes, I went out to the Shine the Light. Rachel Goins, school board member. For the 5th year, she's had the Shine the Light. I think it's called Shine the Light. It's something like that, and got to speak. And man, you talking about a turnout. It was really a good time. And I'd like to just thank her for putting that on. And there's a lot of folks out there. And it had to do with a lot of, the sheriff was out there and the judge was out there, and just talking about fentanyl and different stuff that's going through the county. So I like to commit. She done a wonderful job, and everything's good in the 4th.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Thompson.
Mr. Chairman, the only thing I have is, I want to call a land and building committee meeting, at 11 o'clock on the 21st. That's, 1 hour before our meeting on the 21st, on a Monday. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Goins.
District's looking good.
Commissioner Slater.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Education Committee met October 25th and toured the Pie Center. How magnificent that our Bradley County students will be supported and developed from K through J, that's kindergarten through job. Congratulations to Dr. Cash, the Board of Education, Kyle Page, Brittany Cannon, Arlette Robinson, and the school system for their determined and tenacious work from an idea and conceptual plan to the innovative Parker Street destination. The Pie Center truly illustrates the power in the conclusion of education, county government, and the industry. Congratulations also to Northley Elementary for winning this year's digital billboard contest. This contest was to promote healthy digital habits with the help of Common Sense Ed. Their billboard will be shown near the South Walmart in this week and next week. And also, the National Blue Ribbon Schools Program recognizes public and private elementary, middle, and high schools based on their overall academic excellence or their progress in closing achievement gaps among student subgroups. Each year, the U.S. Department of Education seeks out and celebrates great American schools demonstrating that all students can achieve to high levels. In September of this year, the U.S. Department of Education recognized 297 schools as blue ribbon schools in the United States. 6 of those 297 being from Tennessee, and 1 of those being from our own Bradley County. Congratulations to our own Michigan Avenue Elementary School for being recognized as a National Blue Ribbon School for 2022. This national recognition is an incredible honor, and Dr. Linda Cash, Ruthie Panny, and the entire staff of Michigan Avenue are to be commended. Dr. Cash and her team were in Washington, D.C. last week to receive the award, and at this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Cash to come forward and to speak briefly about that experience last week.
So thank you for those recognitions. It really goes to the teachers and the leadership at Michigan Avenue and all the leaders at the central office. But one of the great things, which shows you why they are a blue ribbon school, they carried the little Wolverine around everywhere we went. So we had time to visit, and they were constantly taking video and pictures of monuments to take back to those students to introduce them to how what's in Washington, D.C. So not just going up there, but again, grabbing those experiences and sharing them with the students and the other teachers that weren't with us. happy to know that Bradley County is a strong leader across the nation. But more importantly, even when they had the opportunity to be on their own, those teachers and leaders chose to start doing something for kids and to educate kids. I will tell you this, when we had the opportunity through Mr. Fleshman's, Congressman Fleshman's office, we got to tour the Capitol early morning, and every elected official should sit through that first video that talks about our founding fathers and why we are here and the freedoms that were fought to be here and what representative of government truly is. It is for the people. And I think that when y'all make decisions, you're doing that. But great time. You should be proud of the teachers that went to represent not just Michigan Avenue, but Bradley County Schools. It was an amazing opportunity. I will tell you, when they started calling awards, they started with Alabama, and we looked at each other and said, we're going to be here a long time. But it was great, and thank you for letting me speak. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We have a lot to be thankful for in the area of education in Bradley County. Commissioner Mason, please.
Mr. Chairman, the 6th District's doing well. The Bradley County Road Department handbook has been reviewed by our county attorney and has been in effect since September 1st, and I asked to spread this handbook upon the commission minutes tonight.
Thank you. Can you take?
And that's all I have. Thank you.
That's all you have? Okay. Commissioner Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a couple of items. First item, Mr. Chairman, me and you had talked about the archives building, about the sprinkler system, and I request that we send that to Buildings and Land, if that's okay.
That's very fine. I think it's very appropriate. Can you handle that? Okay.
And several calls about the election commission, of course, not having a voting station in the 6th. Called and found out a few things about that. Of course, budgeting monies was the issue that I was told that they didn't have the money to do those, so they done away with the early votings whole place over at the Planet Fitness there or close to it. Number 3 item, book reading at Valley View. Me and Tim went down there last Thursday week, and that was real good. It was an honor to read to the 2nd graders. Of course, I had to review the book to make sure I didn't miss no words. Sure didn't want to do that. Let's see, I think that's it. Block party, I went to it. It was crowded. It was nice. One thing I failed to mention at the beginning of this election, whenever I got elected, we all failed, I think, to remember the person that stands behind us the most. I've been running for this office since 2006, and each time I've ran for this office, I've had a very special young lady sitting right back there. Has always been supportive of me no matter what. I'm almost like Mike Hughes tonight, talking about our wives, that we don't realize the work that they do, the push that they do. I can remember polling, campaigning, and say, you know what, I was off all week on vacation, supposedly. Of course, we went out and knocked over 500 doors, and she's like, I'm like, let's take Wednesday off. I don't want to do it today. I'm ready to go. She said, get in the truck and let's go. So we got in the truck, and of course, we knocked doors for probably 6 or 7 hours. But I failed to recognize her at the beginning, so I don't want to fail to ever not recognize her again. So the driving force for me was her. So I just want to tell her that I love her and I thank her for everything she's done for me. Okay. Now I've totally lost. Fourth thing, I want to thank Lori. I had several issues during these last 2 weeks that had come up, and called Lori, give those items to her, and Lori just was phenomenal. So I want to thank her, and I will not forget to go to her with issues, because it makes it a whole lot more simpler to go to her with issues, and she takes care of those. She got a hold of Bentley Thomas, and he took care of issues. Of course, he called me back today to say that he had done everything that he could do about that situation we had. So I want to thank Lori and remind everyone, new commissioners or old, go to Lori if you need anything. She'll help you, I promise. And we had a situation, and Adam Lewis helped me take care of that, so I appreciate him for doing that. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can't remember if anybody's mentioned this or not yet, but tomorrow is Election Day, so if you have not voted yet, please get out and vote. As Mylan always says, Commissioner Blake, I apologize, always says that you've paid for it already. It's already been budgeted, so use it and vote. So also this week, Mr. Chairman, Constable Tim Fowler from the 7th District reached out and asked if he'd be recognized for a few minutes tonight. So Constable Fowler, I'd like to recognize you.
Thank you, Commissioner Rogers. I'm coming before you tonight just to give you a brief update. I kind of promised that I would, to keep the commissioners in the loop of what's going on with the constables. In front of you is kind of a report of what the constables have done. So I'm going to be very brief, and I'll go page by page very briefly. If you have a question, you can ask me at the end. You can see the list there of the constables that are in compliance with the training. Everybody's done at least the 40 hours, and most have done more than the 40-hour required training by the state. The reason why my hours are so high is because me being an instructor, I have to take different classes to keep my instruction up. So, and also to get an instructor certification in various topics. On the second page is a list. And also, I've not only trained the Bradley County constables in their 40-hour training, but with me being appointed by the state to be the East Tennessee training director, I also had to go to East Tennessee, which is over in Jeff County, and I did another 40 hours training multiple other constables that live in East Tennessee. I'm responsible from Chattanooga all the way to the state line up to the Kentucky line, that or the up to Kentucky, and then all the way up to the Virginia line that way. That's what borders. On the second page is a list of our training. So if you have any questions about that, that's what's required by the state. And then there's a page in there on the third page of, I wanted you to have this. That's one constable who's not in compliance. If you have any questions, you can ask me about that later. And then the last page. Let me explain what this is to you, and I hope that you're going to be very happy about this. I met with the county attorney, and we talked about this, and she was kind of excited about this. What this is an insurance policy that not only that I have, but the other constables are coming on board and purchasing theirself. This is a professional liability policy. It's a $1 million policy that covers constables 24 hours a day. I know we have the county insurance when we do our county duties, but sometimes we as constable work security jobs, and like we did the trunk or treat for Toyota, things like that. They're kind of outside of regular county duties, and I thought it was pretty important that we carry our own liability insurance. And so basically it takes the liability off the county, off the government. When we do our extra jobs, we're covered under our professional liability insurance. So basically we're double covered. If that anything that I can do as the training officer to keep our training updated, to keep liability off of the county, the commissioners, and the government, hey, I'm going to try to do it. And the cost is minimum for us to do this. And so pretty well everybody's on board. One more thing, I've instituted, Ms. Freiberg has it, a use of force policy that kind of mirrors the county policy. Really hadn't had that before. So we've got that. All constables have got their signature on. And the last thing is, and this is this is, July, August, and September. Forgive me, I'm a little late, been busy in vacation and stuff, but for 3 months, July, August, and September, the constables have delivered a total of 827 papers. That's how many papers we have done. That is a lot of papers. It was my mistake. I didn't get the writs. The writs is what takes us forever to do, and I'll have that report next time. But the writs takes us the longest because we have to set somebody out. Sometimes it takes half a day, 4 hours. So that's how many papers that we've done. Every bit at zero cost, taxpayers or to the county. We delivered a lot of papers. The last thing is that I want to make one little simple request that you can think about if you want to do that's never been done before. And if you guys don't want to do this, hey, it's fine. I had an idea that once a year that you guys vote and recognize and do a Constable of the Year. If you guys want to do that, that would be great. Hey, if you don't, we won't be mad about it. But if you want to do that, I think at the end of the year, every December, maybe you can recognize there's 7 of us, so you can maybe do that. It's just a once-a-year thing. So that's all I got. Any questions about any of the paperwork?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tim, you are 7th District Constable.
Yes, sir.
Correct? You were appointed by this commission.
Yes, sir.
And you've been elected by our 7th District. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
But thanks for leading this way. This is something that you just taken on. And I appreciate you, and I think my district appreciates you for what you do and the leadership that you've done here. I think it's a great idea to have a Constable of the Year. I think it's great, all the hours you all have done and all the training that you're doing. And if you're over all of East Tennessee, you make us proud. Congratulations. Thank you.
It's a real honor to have that appointment.
Thank you. Commissioner Alford, would you mind taking this into consideration on the Law Enforcement Committee?
Will do.
Thank you.
I did have a question.
Go ahead.
Please, if you don't mind. Covering all East Tennessee, how many counties do not have constables anymore? Or how many do?
I don't have that answer right now, but I can get it for you. I'll have it at the next meeting. There's still a lot over in East Tennessee around Union County, Jefferson. I know that Union County itself, just in that county, has 16. They have 2 per district. They have a lot.
But that doesn't tell you how many counties overall the whole state has one.
No, sir. I don't know that answer.
And what happens if you're non-compliant?
Well, hang on real quick.
No, you need.
The TCA code, which is TCA code 8-10-104, which also under that same statute says that once a constable is elected, he has 1 year from the date he's sworn in to do 40 hours of in-service training. If he does not, if the constable fails to complete the in-service education requires described in this chapter, a constable who violates this section commits a Class C misdemeanor subject to a fine each day. The violation of this section constitutes a separate offense. So, which means is each day that he does his constable duties, he's fined for each separate day. And it's Class C misdemeanor.
How many constables are still father-in-lawed in?
Say that again?
Grandfathered in? Weren't there some older
There's
ones?
none grandfathered.
None anymore?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. This new law changed every that. Everybody has to comply to this.
That's all I have this time.
Commissioner Slater.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here tonight, Mr. Fowler. So since you're the East Tennessee Training Coordinator, do you plan to go to other counties and notify those counties if they have constables that are non-compliant?
Not me personally, but,
But why wouldn't you if you're the coordinator of keeping all the training records?
well, let me finish. What I have to do is everyone that has come to training, I have a file on those people. That file is sent to the director over the constables, which is Jacob Thompson. He's the secretary of the state constables. And then what he does, he takes it from there, and then his responsibility, the whole state of Tennessee, and see who's in compliance. And he takes it from there, and he reports to each county, and it's up to each county whether or not they do something about it.
So we can expect a report from him too?
I don't think you'll get one from him, because I'm responsible for this county, but I don't think you'll get one from every county. I mean,
So are you not responsible for the East Tennessee, all of East Tennessee?
I am responsible for their training.
So who made you responsible for all of Bradley County? Were you elected to do that? Or I'm confused because I thought every constable was elected.
Well, they are.
So
They
how
are.
did you get elected to bring this report to us, is what I'm asking.
The report about the training?
Mhm.
Because I'm the training officer.
For Bradley County?
And for East Tennessee, yes.
So if you're the training coordinator for East Tennessee, why would you not go to those other counties that have constables that are non-compliant and share that information? Why are you only doing it for Bradley County?
Because they are supposed to have somebody in their county who reports to their commission. I don't have the time nor the resources to go to every county and do that. I don't do that.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Very good report, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Commissioner Rogers.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, that's all that I have tonight. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Great, thank you. As to my knowledge, there's no unfinished business. I need a motion on the approval of the agenda, please. Commissioner Thompson, Commissioner Goins. Call the roll, please.
Goins,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Winters,
Yes.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Alford,
Yes.
Fry,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
That's 14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you. Agenda item A, resolution to amend Rule 3 of the Bradley County Commission Rules of Procedure. Commissioner Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, today I propose to put our citizens first. I move to accept the resolution before you to amend Rule 3 of the Bradley County Commission Rules of Procedure regarding the order of business for the commission agenda.
You put that in the form of a
Put that in
motion?
the form of a motion, yes, sir.
Is there a second? Second on Commissioner Goins. Discussion. Commissioner Thompson?
We need to discuss this, see what it really means here. Page 22.
Yes, sir.
What I'd like to know is why we're moving it up to that point. We need to finish with their agenda first, take care of business, then get communication. That's why we're doing this. One step away from doing it anyway. We do this at every meeting, we do it at every work session. We have a communication with the audience. And it's never failed, we've always had it on the agenda. So what would be the reason for moving it up? one or two steps. That's all.
Would you like me to answer that, Mr. Chairman?
You're welcome to, sir.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Mr. Thompson, when I ran for this office, I put on my card that I would be the voice for the people of the 6th District. The people of the 6th District have come to me and said that they want to be recognized first for their issues that they have before, because it's always been they were put last. And they come to me, and I told the people when I got elected that I would do what they wanted me to do, and this is what they've asked me to do, and therefore that's what I put on the agenda, to move communication up to the 4th position there. Because of the people, that's what they wanted.
Okay, reason I'm asking, I haven't had, I've had people wonder why sometimes if they can't speak any longer, but I haven't asked why they couldn't be moved up another notch there before they could be before we have our business. And of course, that's the reason we have 4 meetings a month, and 2 of them are work sessions. And a work session is a good time to bring anything up. I know sometimes things can't wait, but we can deal with that at a voting session if we have to. But that's what work sessions are for. And maybe something can't wait. If it can't, well, then that can be brought up and recognized at a voting meeting, and we can handle it from there, I think. But I don't know why it has to be put above our agenda items, which that's what we do at our work session is to get agenda items. And we need to do our agendas first, I think, and then after that, well, it's no problem if somebody wants to get up here and speak. I don't have a problem with that. If they want to speak more than 5 minutes, I don't have a problem with making a motion to this commission that they get another 5 minutes to speak. But it's going to have to be passed by this commotion, by this commission. So anyway, that's the way I stand on it right now.
Thank you. Commissioner Alford.
Curiosity, Commissioner Ledford, you mentioned 6 districts. How many, top of your head, how many people actually asked you to put this on the agenda?
Probably in the number of around 30, 40.
That many phone calls?
Phone calls, communication, just being out, working at work, and not just from the 6th District.
How many of those people attend our meetings that would know this going on?
Probably 10 or 12.
Okay. They call you?
Some do.
Or email you?
Email, yes.
Gmail you, any other way of getting in touch with you? I guess my point is, I'm trying to make is that obviously they didn't have any trouble getting a hold of you.
No.
So they could voice their complaints by email or whatever, couldn't they? Now, we had a guy come up and talk last week during our work session that fussed about this situation. Work session, fine. He got his point on. Now, I've had a couple of emails saying that people don't really, if we do it during a work session, we're not smart enough to remember to vote on something. We'll forget what we heard during the work session, which I think is kind of asinine. I'm 80 years old, and I don't forget too many things. So these people that say we'll tend to forget something that comes up during the work session kind of, well, I won't say the word. We're on TV. But anyway, I just have a problem with this because people don't have a problem getting a hold of me. I don't think I've had one person email me, same person that always emails us about everything, about this situation. So obviously, we're elected to represent our constituents, is right, but we're also represented of the whole county. And I don't think the whole county has anything to do with this, because I haven't heard anything from the whole county, just a little group. So as long as that's going on, we're going to have this problem a lot of times, I think. Thank you.
Commissioner Winters, please.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. We are here as a commission to do the commission's business. That's what this meeting is tonight, to do the commission's business. And that's an opportunity for the public to speak after we commit to our agenda. I've been here 12 years. This is the way we've done business. We have a work session where people can come and share what they want to share during that period of time. I have not had one call on this issue in the 7th District. That tells me that my folks think that my contemporary Rogers and I are doing a pretty good job of representing them. They do have our phone numbers. They do have a way to get in touch with us. They know where I live. They can come by and knock on my door. And it comes down to it. When I did the school board years ago, we had people that wanted to use the school board to go after principals. And they would come and ask to speak in the middle of a meeting and speak against the principal. Well, it kept being done several times, and the school system had to deal with issues before they even knew there was an issue. And that principal had his name or her name called out in meetings, and he or she knew nothing about it. And we had to spend time going after that on and on again. And we learned from the state that we had a school board meeting in the public. It was not a public meeting. It was a school board meeting in the public for us to do what we chose to do. And what we chose to do in that era for 12 years that I was on chairman 3 times was to allow people to contact the school board that they would like to be on the agenda and for what reason. If it was after a principal, if it was after a teacher, or if it was some other situation, we wanted 24 to 48 hour notice. That way we could find out about it ourselves. And we could have the superintendent take a look at it himself and do the things that needed to be done. And 9 times out of 10, that was resolved before we ever got to a meeting. So we have, this meeting is a meeting to do business. We had a presentation, as Commissioner Alford shared, that was exactly what was the model of what we do. You come and present your full case to us. We listen to that full case. It's presented. And we think about it through the week. And our people now see it on TV. And they contact us if they're interested in that. And I've not had any interest in that in my district, for me personally. And I think if it works, and it's worked well, let's keep it working well. And giving people, and I think there is a responsibility. There's a responsibility for us to answer the phone when people call. There's a responsibility for us to have our numbers where they know where to find us. When I've run 4 times, my publicity, the things I had my cell number on it and my email address on it. For my 7th district. So I think the responsibility for us is to do just what my fellow commissioners just said, that people contact you. They come by your business. They come by where we live and talk with us about these issues and not just take a long period of time before we're supposed to do voting and share again what we've heard before. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I know from just being around for a little while and listening to other counties and seeing how other counties conduct business and also other legislative bodies here in our county alone, I am thankful that this commission is one of the most, I would say, commissions that allow people to speak. I know that there are other places that don't, and that you have to ask to be put on their agenda to allow you to speak. And this commission does allow constituents and people and the citizens of Bradley County to speak at every single one of our meetings. And it is at the end. Like my counterpart, Commissioner Winters, I have not had a phone call for this, and I have not had a phone call against this from the 7th District. That being said, Mr. Chairman, I do have a question for Ms. Freiberg. Ms. Freiberg, if this does pass tonight, and it tends, or we see that this issue or issues arise from people speaking before votes or whatever might happen, how would we go about changing this back to what it was previously? Is that a possibility, or would it just be another resolution that we'd have to do to change the thing back?
Yes, it could certainly be changed back. It could be done in a couple of ways. It could be done similar to what Mr. Ledford has done. It could be done by a commissioner having a resolution prepared and changing it or altering it in some way. It could also go to a committee to come out of committee at the recommendation of a commissioner. So there's several ways that could happen. But yes, this resolution, if it were to be approved, could be amended or changed, or another resolution changing the rules at any point in time in the future.
Thank you, Ms. Freiberg. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have.
Anyone else? Got a call for the vote? Mr. Blake?
If you don't mind, just a quick question, Howard. It's for Crystal. My understanding, but the chairman runs this meeting, and he or she can alter the agenda as they see fit, as it's happened a couple of times. This doesn't impact that. I mean, if this were to pass, the chairman still can move things around as he or she pleases. Not please, but as they see fit for the efficiency of the meeting.
Yes, I would agree with that. There are two rules in play. There's the general rule, which is this rule that says this is what our agenda will typically look like. There is, as you're referencing, also authority for the chairman at his discretion to change, move, alter, set agendas as the commission needs those, as those needs may arise. So yes, the chairman does have some discretion, but as a general rule, you all are setting how agendas will typically look absent the chairman making a decision.
Right, so this works mainly as a template, if you will.
Correct, yes.
And he's still, Chairman Cry at the moment, still has authority, or authority may not be the right word. He can basically announce before the meeting that communication for audience is going to be item such and such. Thinks that that's the right way to go. So this doesn't, what I'm saying is this passes, he has to abide by Robert Rules of Order during voting and all that kind of stuff, follow state law, but this allows him to move things as he sees fit.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Got a call for the vote? Call the roll, please.
Goins,
No.
Slater,
Yes.
Mason,
No.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Winters,
No.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Alford,
No.
Cry,
No.
Blake,
No.
Collins,
Yes.
Gilbert,
No.
Thompson.
No.
That's 6 in favor and 8 opposed.
Motion fails. Communications from the audience, please.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Before you do that, if I may, be a point of order, please.
Go ahead.
Just on an item that came up earlier, and always Mayor can correct me if I'm wrong, talking about budgets and so forth. When we get budget requests, and we'll all go through this for the new commissioners in the spring of next year, but real quick, we receive budget requests, we go through them, and basically eventually get to a resolution of appropriations and the tax rate. I may be the only one who thinks like this, but I know I'm not. When the budget request comes in, and I'll give easy numbers, let's say a department had X amount, they had $1,000 last year. Again, just keep the numbers. They requested $1,200 in their budget request. We reviewed that. But the commission as a whole decided that they would only get $1,100. That obviously wasn't what they requested, but it was more than what they got from the previous. That is not a cut. They requested $1,200. They didn't get it. So just because a department doesn't get what they want, and the budget resolution doesn't mean that they were cut. If they had $1,000 in their budget from a previous year and we went to $900, that's a cut. But I just want to make that clear as far as budgets. I don't believe, Mayor, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going by memory, which I should never do, but I don't believe we cut anybody's budget in the current budget right now. Mayor, I don't remember the bottom line, anybody getting a cut or anything. Maybe some lines were adjusted, but at the bottom line, nobody was cut. They probably didn't get what they requested. I just want to make that clear because we were talking about budgets and cutting and stuff like that earlier. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Communications from the audience. Do I have anyone like to? Mr. Rawls, please.
Good seeing y'all. I appreciate those who stood up for the transparency in the community and voted the correct way, in my opinion. And I noticed that a couple of the people who voted no are the people who never answer their phones. So how convenient is that? You know. And also one other thing I heard that was mistaken before was that someone made the statement that the reason that the election commission did not have the South Side voting position in place is because of a budget. That's not true. The truth is that one needs to question their competency. Plain and simple. That is not true. And, you know, when you move it into an area that the South Side last time I believe had over 2,000 votes, and this time it got 200. You know, the people on the South Side had no place to vote. They either had to come to town or they had to go out on the other end. I think it would have been fairer, you know, if somebody would have come and said, hey, look, you know what? We don't have the money to do this. Although I know multiple buildings on the South Side that could have met the criteria. But, you know, I just think it's shameful that, you know, that a lot of elderly people live on that end of town. A lot of elderly people live out there. And to even request that they have to drive to that extreme, you know, I just think that's disgusting in my personal opinion. So I just think it's shameful. But thank you all that voted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that'd like to communicate? Yes, please. Your name, please. You got 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Jessica Hedgecock, and I am in the 4th District. Now, I did hear tonight from some commissioners saying that we do have the ability to reach out to you. So whether it's coming to your door, knocking at your home, contacting you via email or phone call. Well, when our own district commissioners do not respond to us, we reach out to other commissioners. But it is great to know that you have opened up your door to other people. So when we can't contact our own commissioners, we can come knocking at yours. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And everyone else, thank you so much for voting and doing the right thing. Voting to let the citizens, the people, have the voice. Your job is not to just go through and get the agenda taken care of and to go through and get your job done. Your job is to listen to the people and to represent us. And when the people say, no, something else, you say, okay, hold on. Let's listen to what they have to say. It is a privilege to sit up there. It is a responsibility to sit up there. Each and every day, you need to hold yourself accountable to the position that you represent. Now, what we are asking for future, because now we have failed transparency because we're not letting the citizen go first. So what I'm asking is to one of you to have courage. Because if I can't contact my own commissioners and have a respond, because I'll tell you, I spoke up here a few weeks ago, and I still have failed to receive a phone call or email from my commissioners. So what I am asking each and every one of you to rise up and say, you know what? Let's write a resolution. And this resolution would contain that each and every commissioner that is up here would respond to phone calls and emails within a reasonable time and not just leave it open within 48 hours. It is your job to communicate and represent your community. It is your duty. Thank you very much, and I appreciate each and every one of you, even with different viewpoints. I appreciate that you have taken the time to represent our community. Thank you very much. Yes, sir?
Commissioner Gilbert would like to speak, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the 4th District. I'm your commissioner. My phone number is 423.
I don't have a pen with me, sir.
There you go.
I can go back.
Right here. It is 423-413-8014. And the last time somebody had emailed me, I was out of town on business, and then a family member died and I had to leave town. And they had another commissioner to bring it up, have them to come forward. Anytime you need to come forward, you call me, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chairman,
Commissioner Thompson.
I'm the next one in the 4th District. You can call me anytime. I live right out there on the highway. You can come to my house if you want to. But,
Thank you. I appreciate
but
that.
listen, I've been here a long time, and we try to help. We've been as transparent as we can be. And I sure don't appreciate you sitting there and saying what you did, that we don't listen, because we do listen. And that's what we're out there for. That's what we got elected for.
I still have yet to receive an email from
Well,
either of my
If
commissioners.
you can't get a hold of us, why, you got a phone number, well, call us again.
Thank you very much.
If you would please call. A lot of times I'm not very good with emails. I'm not computer
Thank you very
savvy.
much. I will do so.
Call me. Folks has called me, left me a message, and I've got back with them.
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak? Yes.
Deborah Gleason, I'm 4th District. I don't think I could say it any better than what Jessica has already said it. And I am thankful to those of you who voted for the people and for the commissioner that presented that resolution for the people, because the people's voice is what needs to be heard first on any issue. I appreciate those commissioners who don't talk to us as though we are children in their classrooms, and that happens a lot. I'm not speaking of everybody, but there are some here that may tend to think they're still in a classroom and we're the students sitting out here. But I do thank all of the rest that did vote for the people. Thank you so much.
Anyone else, please? Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Bob Nipper. I'm from 1st District. My question goes back to what Commissioner Slater asked Constable here about how he was the instructor for this county. Am I right? And who appointed him to be the instructor for the other constables for this county and East Tennessee? Could you direct that, please, sir? Thank you.
Ma'am, do you want to speak, please? You have 5 minutes. Please give your name.
My name is Sarah Roon. I'm at the 4th District, 405 Horton Road, Southeast. I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who voted yes for the resolution tonight and to put people first. I think I'm disappointed at the result because I feel like it is a lack of transparency. I also think that some of you need to understand that since 2020, the election of 2020 broke America. It broke us. And I think most of you would probably agree with that. And so the conversations that a lot of us have are, how do we fix it? What do we need to do to make things better, to rebuild trust, to help repair what has been shattered? And so the moving of public comment to the beginning of the meeting, I think, was an attempt to allow people to speak before the agenda goes on, so that it would be fresh in commissioners' minds how those they represent, how they feel about the issues that are that are coming forward. And so the fact that it got turned down just feels a little bit like a betrayal, a bit of a betrayal. Our intent is not to ruffle feathers, to keep you from getting your job done, to prevent you from doing what's on your agenda, but rather it is to make sure that we are heard and to make sure that the citizens of Bradley County are heard, because the last 2.5 years has broken us. And we're going to find out tomorrow what's going to happen next. So just keep that in mind, please. Thank you.
Commissioner Gilbert.
Ma'am, you got my number too?
I can get it from Jessica. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Just call.
Is there anyone else that'd like to address the commission? All right. Announcements. Work session November the 14th at noon, Bradley County Courthouse. Upcoming events, Bradley County Schools CTE advisory meeting tomorrow morning at 7:30 at the Pie Center. County offices will be closed November the 11th in observance of Veterans Day. City Fields Celebration of Achievements, November the 12th. It's a ticketed event. You need to make arrangements for the ticket. Thank you very much.